You may or may not remember, we have covered a wine merchant. You may remember this particular Brexit case. And he was complaining about the fact that, look, you're going to bring in this new alcohol duty, which is going to make it incredibly more expensive for me to import wines from Europe, indeed anywhere else, into the UK. In fact, it was so bad, he was saying his business would not be able to operate because what the government is bringing in is going to be taxing alcohol now on strength. So this means that across the board, alcohol, first of all, going to go up in price. You're going to be seeing that. That's a guarantee. However, some alcohol, because remember, this is based on alcohol strength, is going to go up a lot more. So beers and ciders, relatively small. They're not that strong, although some ciders can be quite strong. You're going to be seeing spirits go up. You're going to be seeing rums, alcohols. Alcohols, what am I talking about? You're going to be seeing spirits definitely increased in price drastically. Whiskies, wines, you name it. A lot of the alcoholic content out there is quite strong, and it's going to be getting charged bucket loads. And ultimately, I think what you're going to see, and I think you will see this reflected in a lot of people, you're going to see a lot of people go off spirits probably in the next couple of years because industry and people in the pub industry, or at least in order to try and get a sale, potentially going to start decreasing the volume of alcohol, which is going to change its flavor, and or they're going to water some of these spirits down, and it's going to be very, very different. If you want an example, ask any fan of Cadbury's what happened when Hershey's took over Cadbury's and how drastically the flavor of the chocolate in Cadbury's has changed over the years of them messing around with the recipe. But that's another topic of discussion. But this is not happy. But Rishi Sunak has come out and he said this is a boon for Brexit. This is a big Brexit benefit. This is what he is calling a Brexit Pub Guarantee. But industry leaders and people in the industry, especially in Scotland, because the Scottish whiskey trade is very, very big, and they are going to be hit by this massively. So, it will. How big a hit the Scottish whiskey industry is going to take of this is certainly going to be quite significant. Certainly, you'll be seeing probably less exports because this is going to be too expensive. But of course, you will probably see, due to the naming convention that we've lost now in the EU, you're going to see, shall we say, maybe distilleries in America, maybe elsewhere in the world, saying this is a Scottish whiskey, but it isn't. It's not produced in Scotland, but it's just a Scottish whiskey. There's going to be all kinds of problems he's going to cause, but yeah, the industry not very happy, and they've come out, not surprisingly, swinging against Rishi Sunak and, of course, against Jeremy Hunt against this new increase in this duty. So let's get on and say what they have to say about this, but ultimately, they are not happy. They are not happy at all with this. So before we do go diving into this, please do remember I haven't had an alcohol, but please do remember to click on the like, share, and subscribe button. And of course, down below there are links to my Patreon page and a rotation link called Buy Me Coffee, where you can buy me coffee. And of course, as always, thank you very much to all those people who do help support the channel. Even if you choose, just click the like and share button. So let's go on into the Herald of Scotland and then talking about this. With the title of Rishi Sunak's Brexit Pub Guarantee Condemned as Naive. Scotland's licensed trade sector has condemned the sweeping alcohol tax change brought in today under the Conservatives' Brexit Pub Guarantee as naive and fanciful. The government now has insisted that the new ABV Thus, the alcohol by volume based system is less complex and means that duties on drinks will be fairer and responsive to new products entering the market as customers' tastes evolve. Well, you've essentially said that the higher the alcohol volume, the more you would have to pay. However, what's going to happen? Someone is going to go, "Wow, there's a massive opportunity here to really flood the market and underprice a lot of people by offering a really low alcohol volume." And I think that's going to lead to a whole different mess of problems and a whole who knows what kind of um industry shenanigans that's going to take place here, but someone's going to do it sooner or later. And then, as we've talked about before, about price cutting and things like that, this is going to have a big effect on the industry, not just the Scottish drinks industry, but the whole UK pub sector and drinks industry as a whole. So these changes mean that the rate of duty on draft beer and cider is reduced by 9.2%, whereas the standard rate on duty of the packaged beer and other alcoholic drinks, including whiskey, will rise by 10.1% after Hunt announced in March that the freeze to alcohol duty would end on the 1st of August and then increase at the rate of inflation. This move has created a very differential difference between on the sale of on and off duty sales, as was previously not possible because of the EU regulations and has been described by Mr. Hunt as a Brexit pub guarantee. Let's see what industry experts had to say on this. Let's see what they had to say. Oh, by the way, here's some of the price increases. So a bottle of wine is going to be going up by 44 pence per bottle. And when combined with VAT, that means you're paying an extra 53%. Sorry, not 53%, a 53 pence. Sherry will go up to £3.85. With adding a VAT increase will mean to an extra of £1 a bottle. Port goes up more than £1.50, and gin or vodka goes up by 90 pence. And that doesn't sound a lot, but that really is, considering that you're already paying probably quite a bit for gin and vodka. But ultimately, I think you will see certainly vodka taking advantage of this by trying to flood the market with lower volume products. I think you will. That's going to have all kinds of. I'd hate to think what's going to happen there in that market, but it's going to be a very troublesome for a lot of companies. But Paul Wilson, a spokesperson for the Scottish Licensed Trade Association, has said the sector will not be convinced that the reduction in draft beer and the cider duty will lead to lower prices in pubs, as drinks producers will not pass along the saving. For the Chancellor to say that the cut in draft beer is a Brexit pub guarantee is as naive as it is fanciful, he said. We know from experience that we don't benefit from cuts to alcohol duty because the duty is paid by producers who do not then adjust their prices down accordingly when selling to us. It is a system designed to benefit the producers and big pub companies. They are able to negotiate price discounts, whereas smaller independent operators, such as our members, do not have that power. Yeah, are we surprised at this? This is piling on more pubs, not just up in Scotland, but across the UK, who are already having increased problems by this. Already having very, very increased problems on this. This is going to lead to, I think, not immediately, but if inflation doesn't get under control, if inflation doesn't get brought under control a lot quicker than, or at least if Rishi Sunak and Jeremy Hunt don't actually do something about getting inflation under control, this is going to have a massive impact on pubs, nightclubs, venues that sell alcohol, the entire drinks industry as a whole in the UK is going to find itself in some significant problems. I think in maybe not immediately, but maybe a year or two down the line. That's when I think these price increases are going to really take effect, because things like this tend to not normally have a initial impact. It's sort of a time increase as people sort of realize that there's been this increase. So this is going to cause huge problems for this industry, huge problems. But this as a Brexit pub guarantee, I thought this age was over of us trying to sell Brexit wins and justify, Brexit, but apparently not. Apparently not. But then again, as we said before, the Conservatives getting pretty desperate, and of course trying to justify that. Oh, we've done Brexit. This is good. This is a Brexit guarantee. Maybe not so. Maybe not so. But yeah, I think this industry, and certainly the drinks industry in the UK, pubs and clubs, going to be in, I think, a lot of trouble going forward. I really do. But it's not going to be, I think, instant. I think it will take a year before these these price increases really hit in. But we'll see. But if this is really linked to inflation, maybe it will hit a lot sooner. Maybe it will hit a lot sooner. Maybe when we see the festive period, when a lot of the pubs and restaurants see this, you've got an increase in food prices, you've got an increase in drink prices. It could just create an absolute perfect storm. I really could. But as always, thank you very much for watching. And of course, as always, we'll see you all next time.